Clive, congratulations. Things have gone, can't have gone much better than that for you.
No, we did. It went extremely well. It's obvious that we didn't think it would have finished as quickly as it did, but I thought players played very well. I think we batted extremely well, and I thought we bowled pretty well, really. Well, it was a very good team game, really.
It's always tough for the losing captain, David, to be on the losing end of a result like that.
Well, yes, I suppose we weren't quite anticipating that at the start of the contest. And it is very disappointing. It's never nice to lose a game, which makes it even worse if you lose a game by a handsome margin. And I think it's just exposed us now to the sort of strength Clive's side has. I think a lot of people will be thinking quite hard in the next week or so about what they can do to improve. And I think at least we now know what the problems are.
One of the problems, of course, is Joel Garner, isn't it?
Well, he bowled very well, didn't he? He's always been a special bowler, by dint of his great height, of course, and I think hopefully this sort of wicket should have dented some of that. I think most people felt they could play him, or should have been able to play him on this wicket, but things go wrong, and if you get the edge and it's caught, well, that's the end of your experiment, isn't it?
Clive, what are your thoughts on Joel? He's put a yard or two on pace, and he really is so formidable.
Well, not only that, I think he's very awkward, really. He's come from a great height. When you think that you've got him covered, sort of thing, he gets one that does something that you didn't expect. And that sometimes comes a little bit more often than you expect. So you might just get the odd 2 or 3, which puts us in a very, very good position. I think it's something like like Jeff Thompson. When he was bowling with Lillian, when they had that combination in the early 70s, you'll find that you think you've got him covered, and then because of his action, which is a very slingy action, and he would produce an unplayable ball. All of a sudden, when you think, although he might have been bowling for an hour and a half, so it's the same thing that I think Joel has. He comes in, he looks sometimes like you think you've got him covered, then he produces that unplayable ball.
This is or has been your 101st Test match, and I think your 65th or 66th as captain. How do you rate your present side with other West Indies teams?
Well, I think this one has more balance than it's better balanced side than those that I've had in the past. The others were we had 4 fast bowlers and no spinners. I think Viv and Larry sort of made up the spinning department. But I think where depth and ability where batting was concerned, I think we had in 1976 and 79 that the batting was a little bit better. The Greenwich was a little bit younger sort of thing. We had Fredericks in 1976. So I thought it was a better batting side, really. But here I think it's just a little bit better in the sense that even if it turns, we still have somebody that can do it for us, really.
I suppose I don't have to ask you how you rate it, David.
Well, obviously they're not a bad side. And talking of batting strength, it's a little bit disappointing when number 10 comes in with 70 or 80.
Things got out of control a bit by then, didn't they?
Well, it's when people play well, it's not always that easy to control, is it? And you have to give credit to, say, Holding Baptiste, Michael Holding there for their performance on Saturday morning and the way they did bat. They batted with a certain amount of confidence. I think that's always helped when you come in at sort of 450 for 8 as opposed to 100 or 250 for 8.
What about Paul Downton's performance? Do you feel that he showed what could be done by application and a good sound method?
He certainly did. He played very, very well indeed, both innings. And as I've read quite a few times the past couple of days, he's set the example, supposedly, for the rest of us. Obviously, it needs a lot of that sort of application to bat well against this side we're playing against. And I think you need to temper that with the mixture of someone like Ian, who can also carry the attack back a bit. Because obviously, again, it's the question if you're going to win a game, you've got to score runs at a pace that allows you time to bowl a side out, and we can think about that problem later.
Now, are you conscious that that your senior batsman should have played with more application, or do you feel that the media criticism has been unreasonably fierce?
Well, media criticism or media comment is always a very touchy subject. And I think you'll always find, whatever happens, that the views in the dressing room and the views as seen from the other side of the ground, watching the same game, normally differ quite substantially. And as far as I'm concerned, we know what our problems are. We know what we have to do to sort them out, and we'll be doing that without any help from outside the dressing room.
What sort of problems, then, do you hope to sort out before you go to Lord's?
Well, I'd like to work out how we can score 600 and bowl them out for 190 twice.
Not a bad answer. Clive, the last one with you.
Well, I think a lot of people tend to, you know, when you lose, sort of thing, they give you a lot of stick. Nobody likes to lose, and there's no doubt about that. And I think that David is in a position where, you know, all right, you'll get criticized, there's no doubt about that. But I think he's got players on the way he's got to build for the future. I'm not saying that in the next game they might not do very well. We're hoping that they don't. But the main thing about it is that once good cricket is played, that's the important thing. Once the people that watch it enjoy it, our job is done, really.
David, a lot of people will be rooting for you and wishing you well and hoping things go a lot better in the next one.
Thank you very much.
So